Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman's death on August 28, 2020, shocked the whole world. He was only 43 years old when he passed away from colon cancer. What made it so shocking was that no one outside his close family knew he had been sick. His family revealed in a public statement that he had been diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016. The disease later reached stage 4, but he chose to keep it private. During all those years, he kept working, filming movies, and doing interviews as if nothing was wrong. Boseman was most famous for playing King T'Challa in Marvel's Black Panther. He also starred in 42 Get On Up and Marshall. Even while he was receiving surgeries and chemotherapy, he kept acting. He completed several big projects, including Dom 5 Bloods and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which came out after his death. His dedication inspired many people who learned how much he endured while staying professional and positive. When the news of his passing broke, fans all around the world were stunned. His social media post announcing his death became one of the most shared and liked messages in history. People were amazed that he had kept such a painful secret for so long while giving the world so many powerful performances. Colleagues spoke about how kind, focused, and humble he was on set. The sudden news made people more aware of colon cancer and the importance of early testing, especially in young men. Doctors later explained that many young adults had started to face higher risks of colon cancer, which made his story even more important. Chadwick Boseman's death was not only sad, but also deeply educational. It showed how strength, privacy, and purpose can exist even during pain. His passing remains one of the most shocking moments in Hollywood history. Michael K. Williams. Michael K. Williams was found dead in his apartment in Brooklyn, New York, on September 6, 2021. He was 54 years old. The medical examiner ruled that he died from an accidental drug overdose caused by a mix that included fentanyl. Police later discovered that the drugs he took were laced with fentanyl, a very strong synthetic opioid that has caused thousands of deaths in recent years. Federal agents arrested and charged the men who had sold him the drugs. Court documents showed that they continued selling even after learning that Williams had died from what they sold him. The case became a national story and brought more attention to the dangers of fentanyl, which can be deadly even in very small amounts. Williams was best known for his role as Omar Little in The Wire, a character that became one of television's most memorable figures. He also appeared in Boardwalk Empire and Lovecraft Country. Many of his roles explored themes of pain, struggle, and survival, which reflected parts of his own life. Friends and co-workers said he was open about his past battles with addiction and how he used his art to help others understand those struggles. When the news of his death spread, both fans and fellow actors were heartbroken. He had been working on new projects and giving talks about recovery and self-care. His loss reminded many people that addiction can affect anyone, no matter how successful or talented. It also started new discussions about mental health, trauma, and the need for better support systems in the entertainment industry. Michael K. Williams' death was one of the most shocking in recent memory because it showed how dangerous fentanyl has become and how quickly it can take a life. Cameron Boyce. Cameron Boyce's death on July 6, 2019, broke millions of hearts around the world. He was only 20 years old when he died in his sleep from a medical condition called epilepsy. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner confirmed that his cause of death was sudden unexpected death in epilepsy, known as SUDEP. It means that a person with epilepsy can die suddenly without warning, even if they have been managing the condition well. Boyce had been open about having epilepsy with close friends and family, but the public did not know about it. His death came as a complete surprise because he seemed healthy, active, and full of energy. He was one of Disney Channel's brightest young stars, best known for his roles in Jessie, Descendants, and Grown Ups. Fans saw him as a symbol of positivity and creativity. After his death, his parents and sister created the Cameron Boyce Foundation to raise awareness about epilepsy and help fund research. They wanted his death to bring light to the need for more education and understanding about the condition. Doctors also used his story to teach families about seizure safety and the importance of medical follow-up. The entertainment industry was deeply affected by his loss. Fellow actors, producers, and directors described him as kind, mature, and hardworking. Disney Channel honored him in special tributes that celebrated his talent and kindness. The sudden nature of his passing made people realize how fragile life can be, even for the young and healthy. Naya Rivera. Naya Rivera's death was one of the most heartbreaking and shocking stories in recent Hollywood history. On July 8, 2020, she rented a small boat at Lake Peru in California to spend the day with her 4-year-old son. When the boat was not returned on time, staff went looking for it. They found her son asleep on the boat wearing a life jacket, but Rivera was missing. A massive search began immediately, involving divers, helicopters, and rescue teams. After 5 days, on July 13, 2020, her body was found. The Ventura County medical examiner confirmed that she died from accidental drowning. Officials believed that her son had gone swimming, and when he struggled, Rivera helped push him back into the boat. She did not have enough strength to save herself afterward. Toxicology tests showed only small legal amounts of medicine in her system. There was no evidence of drugs, alcohol abuse, or foul play. Authorities described it as a tragic accident. The heartbreaking part was that her son later told police his mother helped him into the boat before she disappeared underwater. Rivera was best known for her role as Santana Lopez on Glee, where she became an icon for many viewers around the world. She had also appeared in The Royal Family and Step Up, High Water. Her sudden death led to a wave of grief from fans and fellow actors who called her brave, talented, and devoted to her son. Naya Rivera's death shocked people not only because of her fame, but because of the courage she showed in her final moments, saving her child's life. Her story remains one of Hollywood's most tragic and unforgettable losses. Aaliyah Donna Houghton was one of the brightest young stars in the music world. Born in Brooklyn and raised in Detroit, she began performing at a young age, eventually signing with Jive Records at just 12 years old. By the time she released her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, Aaliyah had already gained massive attention for her smooth voice and cool style. She later released One in a Million, which became a huge success and helped shape modern R&B. In 2001, Aaliyah traveled to the Bahamas to shoot a music video for her single Rock the Boat. The shoot finished earlier than expected, and she and her team decided to return to the United States that same evening. They boarded a small twin-engine plane even though it was overloaded with equipment and luggage. Soon after takeoff from Marsh Harbor Airport on August 25, 2001, the plane crashed just 200 feet from the runway and burst into flames. Everyone on board, including Aaliyah, was killed instantly. She was only 22 years old. Investigations later revealed that the plane had exceeded its weight limit and that the pilot did not have proper certification to fly the aircraft. The toxicology report also showed that the pilot had traces of alcohol and cocaine in his system. Aaliyah's death shocked the world. Fans, friends, and fellow artists mourned the loss of a young woman who had already achieved so much and still had a lifetime ahead of her. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was one of the most powerful voices in music history. Born in Newark, New Jersey, she grew up surrounded by gospel and soul music. Her mother, Cissy Houston, was a well-known gospel singer, and her cousin was the famous Dionne Warwick. Whitney's debut album in 1985 became one of the best-selling albums of all time, and her hits like I Will Always Love You and Greatest Love of All made her a global icon. But behind her success, Whitney struggled with fame and personal challenges. Her marriage to Bobby Brown was rocky, and she battled with drug addiction for years. On February 11, 2012, Whitney was in Los Angeles for the Grammy Awards weekend. She was staying at the Beverly Hilton Hotel when her assistant found her unresponsive in the bathtub. Paramedics arrived, but she was declared dead at the scene. The coroner's report showed that Whitney had accidentally drowned due to heart disease and the effects of cocaine use. The news broke just hours before the annual Clive Davis pre-Grammy party, which she had been expected to attend. Her death deeply affected fans and the music industry, marking the loss of one of the greatest voices ever recorded, Tupac Shakur. Tupac Amaru Shakur was more than a rapper. He was a poet, actor, and voice for a generation. Born in New York City, he grew up in a politically active family and became one of the most influential figures in hip-hop. His albums Me Against the World and All Eyes on Me changed rap music forever. On the night of September 7, 1996, Tupac attended a Mike Tyson boxing match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas with Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight. After the fight, Tupac got into a fight with a man believed to be part of a rival gang. Hours later, while riding in a BMW with Suge Knight, a white Cadillac pulled up beside them and fired multiple shots. Tupac was hit 4 times. He was taken to the hospital and placed on life support, but died 6 days later on September 13th at just 25 years old. The murder shocked the world. Despite years of investigations, the case remained unsolved for decades. In 2023, a man named Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested in connection with the case. Tupac's legacy still lives on through his music, his words, and his influence on culture. Redd Foxx. Redd Foxx was a comedy legend best known for his role as Fred Sanford in the hit TV show Sanford and Son. Born John Elroy Sanford in St. Louis, he started his career as a stand-up comic in the 1940s and became famous for his raw adult humor. His comedy albums sold millions of copies, and his sharp wit paved the way for many black comedians who came after him. On October 11th, 1991, Redd Foxx was on the set of his new television show, The Royal Family, when tragedy struck. During a rehearsal, he suddenly collapsed. At first, people thought he was joking, since his character in Sanford and Son often faked heart attacks as part of the show's comedy routine. But this time, it was real. He had suffered a massive heart attack. Paramedics rushed to the scene and took him to Queen of Angels Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center, but he was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. He was 68 years old. His death was a shock to fans and fellow comedians, as he had just returned to television. Redd Foxx remains a pioneer in American comedy and one of the most influential entertainers of his time. Lee Thompson Young. Lee Thompson Young was an American actor who inspired many young viewers during his short but successful career. He was born on February 1, 1984, in Columbia, South Carolina. From a young age, Lee showed a strong interest in acting. His big break came when he starred in the Disney Channel series The Famous Jet Jackson, where he played a teen who led a double life as both a normal high school student and a secret agent on television. The show made him a household name among young audiences and helped him move on to bigger roles. After the Disney years, Lee continued to work in television and film. He appeared in Friday Night Lights and played Detective Barry Frost in the popular TV drama Rizzoli and Isles. Many people admired him for his calm personality, intelligence, and professionalism. But behind the scenes, Lee struggled with serious mental health challenges. He was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and was taking medication to manage his symptoms. His family and friends said that he had always been private about his struggles and often kept his feelings to himself. On August 19, 2013, Lee failed to show up on the set of Rizzoli and Isles, which was very unusual for him. The crew became worried and asked for someone to check on him. When his landlord entered his Los Angeles apartment, Lee was found dead. The police confirmed that he had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was only 29 years old. There was no suicide note found at the scene. The news of his death shocked Hollywood and his fans all over the world. It was hard to understand how someone so talented and full of potential could be silently suffering. His family later spoke out about his struggles and started the Lee Thompson Young Foundation to raise awareness about mental health. The foundation's mission is to remove the shame and stigma around mental illness and to encourage open conversations about emotional well-being. His co-workers from Rizzoli and Isles held a memorial service for him at Paramount Studios in Hollywood, while his body was laid to rest in York, South Carolina. Bernie Mac. Bernard Jeffrey McCullough, known to the world as Bernie Mac, was one of the most beloved comedians and actors of his generation. He was born on October 5, 1957, in Chicago, Illinois. Growing up in a tough neighborhood, Bernie used humor as his way to survive and connect with others. He started performing stand-up comedy in local clubs, and his sharp wit and fearless honesty quickly earned him attention. His style was real and bold, making people laugh by telling stories about everyday life and family. Bernie's big breakthrough came when he joined the original Kings of Comedy alongside Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and D.L. Hewley. The tour and film became major hits, introducing Bernie to a wider audience. He went on to star in The Bernie Mac Show, a television series based loosely on his real life. The show ran for 5 successful seasons and earned him several awards. He also acted in blockbuster films like Ocean's 11, Guess Who, Bad Santa, and Soul Men. His deep voice, serious expressions, and perfect comedic timing made him unforgettable. Despite his success, Bernie Mac faced serious health problems. He was diagnosed with sarcoidosis, a rare inflammatory disease that often affects the lungs. Although he managed to live with it for years, it sometimes made breathing difficult. In 2008, he caught pneumonia, which is a serious lung infection. His condition got worse and he was admitted to a hospital in Chicago. Doctors placed him on a ventilator to help him breathe, and his family stayed by his side. They said he showed brief signs of recovery, but soon after, his body could no longer fight the infection. On August 9, 2008, Bernie Mac died from complications of pneumonia at the age of 50. Kyle Jean-Baptiste. Kyle Jean-Baptiste was a young American actor who made history in the world of theater. He was born on December 3, 1993, in New York City, and grew up in Brooklyn. From an early age, Kyle showed a great love for music and performing. After finishing high school, he went on to study at Baldwin Wallace University in Ohio, where he trained in musical theater. His teachers and classmates described him as gifted, hardworking, and humble. Everyone around him knew he was destined for something special. After graduating in 2015, Kyle joined the Broadway cast of Les Miserables, one of the most famous musicals in the world. At first, he performed as part of the ensemble and understudied the lead role of Jean Valjean. Then, at just 21 years old, Kyle was chosen to play Valjean on stage. That performance made history, as he became both the youngest actor and the first black performer ever to play the iconic role on Broadway. His achievement received widespread praise, and fans were excited to see what he would do next. Tragically, Kyle's life ended only weeks after this milestone. On August 29, 2015, he was in his Brooklyn apartment after a performance. Later that night, he went onto a fourth-floor fire escape with a friend to enjoy the view of the full moon. As he was returning inside around 4 a.m., he lost his balance and fell from the fire escape. He was rushed to Woodhull Hospital, but he was pronounced dead. The authorities ruled the death as an accident. He was only 21 years old. Kyle's passing deeply affected the Broadway community. His castmates, teachers, and fans were heartbroken because his future had looked so bright. He had also been cast to join the Color Purple revival, which was expected to take his career to another level. His story remains one of the most heartbreaking losses in modern theater, a reminder of how quickly a promising life can be cut short. Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick was an American actor known for his commanding voice, serious presence, and impressive body of work across television, film, and video games. He was born on June 7, 1962, in Baltimore, Maryland. Growing up, he had a passion for both music and acting. He studied at the Eastman School of Music and later at the Yale School of Drama, one of the most respected acting programs in the country. His training and deep discipline made him a standout performer early in his career. Lance first gained national attention with his role as Cedric Daniels on HBO's The Wire, a series that many consider one of the greatest television shows ever made. His calm but powerful performance as a police commander earned him critical praise. He went on to appear in other major shows like Fringe, Bosch, and Oz. He also became well known for his role as Chiron, the hotel concierge, in the John Wick movie series. His rich voice and serious demeanor made him unforgettable in every role he played. On March 17, 2023, fans were shocked when news broke that Lance Reddick had died suddenly at his home in Studio City, Los Angeles. He was only 60 years old. Reports from his death certificate listed the cause as ischemic heart disease and atherosclerotic coronary artery disease. However, his family quickly disputed that finding. They stated that no autopsy had been performed and that Lance had never shown signs of any heart problems. They also shared that he had been extremely health conscious, maintaining a strict workout routine and a clean diet. The suddenness of his death confused and saddened many of his fans. He had recently been promoting John Wick Chapter 4, and people had seen him appearing healthy and energetic in interviews only days earlier. His passing led to an outpouring of tributes from fellow actors, directors, and fans around the world. Many praised his professionalism, intelligence, and dignity. Although his death remains difficult for many to understand, his legacy continues through his performances and the respect he earned as one of Hollywood's most disciplined and talented actors. Which of these black actors do you think had the potential to reach even greater heights if given more time? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button and share it with everyone you know who would love to see it. If you'd like more videos like this, then subscribe to our channel and hit the notification icon so you don't miss our next videos.